It is indeed starting to become summer, and by extension, much warmer in my room, which is really unfortunate. I hate when that happens. But here we are for Gintama episodes 121, 123. It was mentioned to me through Discord that these three episodes should be watched together, so I'm gonna be watching them together. Do I upload them separately and get more content out of it, or do I just do it all at once? You know, one upload instead of three separate uploads. I'll probably go with the latter. You guys would probably appreciate that more. But either way, this is gonna be interesting. There isn't much to say usually going into beforehand going into Gintama episodes because uh, usually you never know what to expect, and also because this will more than likely have nothing to do with the previous episodes. I will say though, and I gotta go find find them again. But some comments on the last two episodes that I watched were, I think the last one, the very last episode, episode 120 specifically, uh, mentioning that part of the episode was filler, and I believe it was that would be the Katsuda uh working at a place episode. You know the one, the first half of episode 120, and how I really liked it, even though it was filler. It's honestly it's impressive, and I already kind of knew that the Gintama crew, so to speak, at least for the anime. I don't know if they had Sorachi helping them out with it, but they made the filler so good, so interesting, and entertaining that I thought it was I thought it was official content. Like episode 50, I think it was episode 50 or 51, where they just, I don't know if they outright said it was filler, but they it was, and they were just talking about where to take the series next. I thought that was really enjoyable, you know. But other than that, I'm really interested to see where this little mini arc, this little 3 episode arc is gonna go. It looks like it's starting off with a Teach Us Ginpachi Sensei, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, let's just get started with the episode. As always, unless you're new here, links in the description below to either BitChute or Pixel Drain will take you to the full-length, uncut reaction. Go ahead and click on one of those links. Go watch the reaction, then you can come back to YouTube for the discussion. If you didn't know, for like episode 119 and 120 and yeah, just those two, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna try having the intros and the discussions also in the BitChute and Pixel Drain files. I don't think I'm gonna do that anymore, mostly because at least on BitChute, they have recently introduced a limit. The files can only be 2 GB big, and I think that meant I had to scale it down myself to 480p. Normally the website does it on its own, which I'm pretty sure the compression sucks ass anyway, so I might have to like look into that anyway. But it's one of those things that just has to, it just is that way, you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, let's get started with this episode 121. I don't know why I looked at my watch. Could be a new character. I'm looking forward to potentially seeing more, like, recurring characters from other, parts of the series coming back. I might not be able to say much about this. This is definitely not what I was expecting when I was coming into a 3 episode mini arc, or whatever you want to call it. Because usually when I think of arcs in Gintama, it's like the Kyubey arc, which is like what, 6 episodes, and it was like all serious. Benizakura was pretty serious too. Might get serious. 2 episodes left, obviously. But I mean, so far, what we're getting so far is really entertaining, even if it's not like the serious I was expecting from other arcs. It's still Gintama funny, so you know what I mean? It's still a good time either way, so I can appreciate that. Now, oh boy. Yeah, I've really got not much to say. Unless the guy who looks like Cloudstrife with the blonde hair, that's got to be a whole new character. The guy with the gun, which I would assume Gunlance, I think that's what it's called. Switch X is another one that I know of, Monster Hunter wise. Just from like osmosis, I guess you call it. Just from like being in like Discord calls with friends who play the game, talking about it. But other than that, I don't really know much of a Monster Hunter. Monkey Hunter is pretty funny. I like that one. I would love it if they made it like a spin-off of Monster Hunter, Monkey Hunter. It would be like not like a spiritual successor, but like they make a make a like a an M-rated like reboot of the old video game Ape Escape, which I never played. But Monkey Hunter Ape Escape, I mean that would be kind of funny if that's like right. I mean, obviously not, but anyway, I mean, what else is the episode? This episode was basically like huge comedy. Like I can 100% agree. Like it would be horrifying if my body was modified like that, even if it was just like the finger screwdriver one. So putting it in perspective, without all the jokes and comedy and it being Gintama, that is a very serious situation. That would be terrifying. But for the most part, just lots of goofs and gaffs. Really enjoying it. Probably just gonna be set up for the rest of the arc. Whether or not it becomes more serious later on, I don't know. But you know, I'm always here for it. Gintama. It always finds a way to make even the most ridiculous of things interesting somehow. Always somehow, So I mean, yeah. Just get into the next episode, I guess. I'm just gonna need to look it up. You know what? Nope. I will give myself until the end of next episode to try and remember it myself. Because I remembered it last time I watched Gintama. Episode 119 and 120. I remembered it. Where did it go? Oh, fuck. Ugh. You know what? Whatever. Entertaining continuation. Mostly more comedy. The main joke that was sort of repeated throughout the episode was definitely just it's just showing off all the characters and what they look like in the game. It started off from, and I like the slow like degradation, so to speak, the characters representing themselves in the game. Shinpachi represented himself exactly how it is, and Gintoki is basically himself but a woman. Kagura is herself but a very tall, muscular man, and it's kind of ironic in that way that Kagura is already like insanely strong despite being a little girl, but now this appearance in the game is much more what you would expect when if you were to see like the holes and things that Kagura can punch, you would expect someone like that and not Kagura. And that's kind of like the joke of her character, is she's a little girl, but she's insanely strong and also fucking insane. So that's something. And then it's like it starts to fall off. Katsura doesn't even. I don't think he looks like himself at all. Maybe I'm an idiot. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Uh, Kondo's kind of looks like himself. Uh, Sachan kind of looks like herself. Fucking who else? Who else? And then I think it's just Hasegawa does not look anything like himself. He's definitely like outside of maybe Kagura. He's the one who's doing like the most like wish fulfillment, so to speak, with the character design. Anyway, I think that I can confidently say that the end of this episode was probably the biggest twist. You know what? And the cigarette, now that I'm looking back on it, the cigarette is kind of like the giveaway, because oh, and I remember early on in the series, Hijikata, that's right. Oh god. I don't remember his full name. I'm pretty sure the like Hijikata, and then the other, I don't remember if it's Given or Family, but it starts with an S, and I think it has to start with an S. And I'm not gonna look it up right now. I'll look it up later. The smoking that should have given Hijikata away to me. Hijikata, I think that's what it is. Hijikata, because I'm pretty sure early on I messed it up and called him Hijitaka or something close to that. Anyway, but the twist that those two were Hijikata and Sogo. Presumably their plan was to pretend to be them and hopefully lure them out that way. who knows how they got that strong. um uh and anyway, so going back to something I was saying way earlier, when it was in regards to Hasegawa, how it being in line with this character. Hasegawa is like the down on his luck guy, but what's great about him is he's usually always there for people. Like even his introduction, when he lost his job because of everything, he lost his job. He sacrificed like his own well-being for somebody else. He's always like doing things for other people, even though his life sucks ass. So and him being M thematically for his character, it makes sense because he is once again he's living his neat life in his tiny apartment, sacrificing his free time to become like the ultimate hunter for this, even though he didn't really know it then when he started it, because it would have taken a long time to get there. But it ended up being for other people, even though he's not done much except for lead everybody to the place where the alien gamers would show up, and he didn't even help fight because there was no fight at all. It was just Sogo and Hijikata, doing their thing. But I mean, does that make sense? Do you guys know what I mean? Is that like, am I the only one who kind of sees that? Like, and I mentioned it in like the discussion for episode 121, and in that even though it's disguised as like haha funny comedy, once you look at it past that sort of the veil, so to speak, of the haha funny comedy, it does have things that are you can appreciate outside of it being the funny. You know what I mean? Like the situation there where their bodies got modified like that, like for Gintoki and Shinpachi specifically, because it was like one body part that they need to survive just being altered, and everybody else is just kind of the same. They're full body screwdrivers and whatever. That's a terrifying situation to be in. You know what I mean? So, I don't think it would be possible to play like my finger's been turned into a screwdriver as deadly serious, and that's why it works so well in Gintama, because like it's already funny and goofy, and that's what you expect from Gintama, but also if you think about it a little bit, it's kind of terrifying. So you can, sympathize with the characters, even if a little bit, even if only a little bit, or maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, and this is just like, just a a funny 3-parter instead of like a serious 3-parter. You know what I mean? Either way, let's get to the next episode. Okay, so as I feel like I have expressed while watching the episode, not what I was expecting in terms of a 3-parter. Not that I don't mind, or not that I mind, rather, is the wording I'm looking for, because I really enjoyed these 3 episodes. And I mean, it's not the first time have been like comedic, like really not very serious, like multiple part like mini arcs or whatever, though arguably the second half of the episode where they're all depressed and doing their own thing would be considered the serious bit, the emotional part of this arc. And I will say it wasn't getting me, but I could, and they weren't welling up, so to speak, but I could feel like I was like how do I put it? Like, it could have happened. You know what I mean? Tears, that is. It could have happened. But obviously it didn't. But leave it to Gintama. It is scary how good the series is at mixing comedy and like emotional, like genuinely, like I'm not kidding when I said during the episode that bit where they're all like depressed, that seemed like it could have been a bittersweet ending to a different series if it wasn't about screwdrivers. Like, Gintama is able to do that, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of want to see what the manga version of that looks like, solely because of how like I feel like the music definitely adds a lot to it. The use of music, it made it feel like if I didn't know Gintama had like more than like 100 more episodes left, probably 200 more, even, because I doubt I'm even, like, I'm not even, actually, I think I'm like halfway through the 2006 series, like season 1, so to speak, because that's like 201 episodes, and then there's like another 160 something, I don't know, episodes. I don't know. I'm very far from finishing this series, but like if I watched this episode and I didn't know what was going on up until like Sachan decides to like help him again, you could reasonably convince me this was the end of the series. Because it's got all of those things that like end of series or even just like end of season things has, where it's like, emotional music, an emotional speech about how things have changed and now we have to accept it now. You know what I mean? And it again, even though it is a goofy premise and it is Gintama, where laughs is usually like, it's generally speaking priority one, it is also basically the only series that could take a goofy premise like this and somehow make it like it's an actual serious thing, and what I was saying earlier, that if you think about it, if this happened to you, it would be terrifying and it would suck. So on that level, at least me personally, I can sympathize to that section of the thing where it's like everyone's depressed but trying to move past it and go on with their new lives, so to speak, But I mean, shit, man. Overall, you already know what I'm gonna say. Great 3 episodes. I don't think there's been, a bad episode of Gintama yet, in my opinion. Maybe there's been some like ups and downs in terms of like quality, but I don't think it's ever dipped below like a baseline of like quality. Like, it's never gone into bad. You know what I mean? But this one's definitely like higher up. Just the premise alone puts it pretty high up there, in my opinion. But I mean, that's all I gotta say about these episodes. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single upload in the future. Thank you for watching. Peace.